Tariffs and trade wars. What is the market telling me? What's up, super investors? And welcome to the Nick Rutherford Report. The market is either going to take advantage of you or you are going to take advantage of the market. So hit that like button, subscribe to this channel, share this with someone who would get a lot out of it, because this is the place to be for the financial news that matters for your net worth. So over the weekend, we got the news that the tariffs were getting put on to China, Mexico, and Canada. And the market started crashing. Now, if we look at the news today, well, it's one of the shortest trade wars ever, at least between Mexico and the United States. So we've got trade war over. Mexican president says tariffs delayed for a month after deploying 10,000 troops. Well, it hasn't been so fast with Canada, and you see things like Canadian Pacific crashing over 6%. And this is a huge move for a safe, old world, old economy company like Canadian Pacific. But I think this is kind of a very strange reaction in the market, at least I think it is, because if I go to like Canadian Pacific's investor relations page and I look at their cross-border traffic, the Canada to the US is only 22%, US to Canada is 7%. So you're talking about a percent of a percent of a percent of their revenue that could be affected. Sorry, I mispronounced that there. And really, it's like, think of it this way. They're going to eat the cost or they're going to pass it along to consumers, and it's a percent of a percent of a percent. And now, do you really think there's going to be less grain, less energy, chemicals, and plastics, 20% there? Which they've already said they're going to make exceptions for oil and energy stuff. Now, I don't really need to know the exact specifics because maybe by the time I'm posting this video, the trade war will be over. But I think that this is a wild overreaction by the market. Now, of course, things could get way, way worse. And if this trade war continues and it escalates and it goes on and on and on, well, then it's going to be something to worry about, because if it stretches for months or years, that's going to slow down economic activity. Because it's a classical lesson from economics that nations are wealthy if they do the thing they're good at and they export it to another place. Like if your backyard is really good at growing coconuts, well, you can sell coconuts somewhere else where they can't grow coconuts, and they can do something else and they can ship it to you. That's what trade is really all about. So I find it very difficult to believe that we're going to need less grain, coal, and potash and all of that stuff. So I think it's going to be a little shorter lived, but who knows? I'm just looking at it and the market is telling me, well, today might be a good buying opportunity for certain things. Now, we've got some amazing data coming up. The jobs is going to come out, the ISMs and the earnings and Fed speaker galore according to this. But what I'm really waiting for is the jobs report coming up in a couple of days, because that's really going to tell me what's going on. And then that maintains, well, should I maintain my bullish strategy? And that is simply investing in good companies at good prices with growing with inside of a durable trend. Now, if the jobs data comes bad and the economy starts to weaken, well, then we're going to move to my bearish strategy, which is to raise cash, short-term T-bills, put options, and manage futures. But until I see the data tell me otherwise, well, that's really where we're at, because what comes next is data comes in bad, and then I switch bearish, or the data continues to come in flat or positive, and I maintain my bullish stance. That's where I am right now. I'm bullish. And, you know, you got things like this. Well, the Trump effect. U.S. manufacturing survey signals expansion for the first time in 16 months. Guess what? If we're expanding, that means more stuff's getting made, data's coming in good, the economy's humming along. So for all those people who've been calling bear market for over 2 years now, well, they haven't made a lot of money. And this is why super investors always look at the data behind the headlines to determine what to do. And if I look at the market here, it looks to me like we're consolidating. The S&P 500 is up 21.6% over the last 1 year. This does not look like a market that is sliding into a bear market. So until this really goes down and goes down a lot, I'm bullish. That's what the market is telling me. Gold is up 39% in the last 1 year. That is fantastic. Maybe everyone should own a lot more gold. Now, of course, things could change, but it looks like we're breaking out to new all-time highs. Bitcoin consolidating sideways. It looks pretty good to me. And I love to study the past to predict the future. And if I do that, Bitcoin typically has followed the cycle of go down way a lot, have become more scarce, then go up way high. And then everyone piles in, they get excited, and some people start selling off and it reverses, and this trend seems to continue. So right now we're in the go up phase. So I know over the last few days we had a pretty violent sell-off with this trade war thing. I'm not really sure how that possibly affects Bitcoin in any way. All I can say is there are a lot of algorithms out there just trying to take advantage of the investor. So don't get taken advantage of. Instead, I want you to take advantage of the market. And if I look at the leader of all the leaders, we got NVIDIA. And it looks to me like they're consolidating sideways. So unless this goes down a lot and it breaks below, let's say around 100-ish, just all eyeballing the chart here, well, I think we're still in a consolidation because, well, over the last 1 year, it's up 69%. So what if it goes down a little bit? Went down 16% on some DeepSeek news. It's gone down a little bit on tariffs, but not even really. It was down, and now it's headed back up. That's what it looks like. So the market is telling me to be bullish. The economic data is telling me to be bullish. So until I see some bearish signals and some bearish data, well, I'm going to be bullish. Next, what's the number one stock to buy right now? Click on my bio, follow me, and follow the link to rutherfordwealthreport.com, and I'll share my latest research with you.